I have come to New Zealand as part of a donor group. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has a donor support group, and the chair this year was New Zealand, the International Development Group. So we've gathered here for 2 days of meetings to discuss all the ways in which we can support improved donor coordination. UN OCHA has a slogan that says coordination saves lives. That is a slogan that we very much subscribe to. I have worked on disaster and crisis issues for nearly 20 years, and it is so important that when crisis hits that you know who's going to do what, how to do it, that you have a shared understanding of the needs. So the work that we were able to do together as a community of nations committed to providing humanitarian assistance, I think is some of the most critical work that we can do. It helps us know that our work will make the most difference possible when crisis hits. I really want to just stop for a moment and offer heartfelt sympathy to the people of Christchurch who've experienced yet another earthquake and series of aftershocks earlier this week. It's a devastating thing to go through that, and so I know that all of us extend our sympathies to them. When New Zealand asked us for search and rescue capability, we were able to deploy our LA County Urban Search and Rescue team. So we sent 74 of these guys who are very highly trained, along with their heavy equipment, so that they were able to assist in doing that very critical search in the early days after the earthquake. When the LA County team departed, they were able to leave behind some of their special heavy search equipment, about 600,000 New Zealand dollars worth of equipment, which we were very pleased to be able to provide as a gift. At USAID, we're very committed to looking at all the ways in which we can increase our commitments to disaster risk reduction and preparedness. We see this as a very important part of the ways in which, through our Office of Disaster Assistance and through our democracy work, that we're able to help countries save lives. There is preparedness. There's being prepared at a community, at a country, and at an international level, so that when the inevitable disaster hits, and it will, earthquakes, floods, cyclones, that everybody knows what to do, that you're prepared and ready to act. There's another kind of preparedness that is really more about resilience, and it's having the ability, because you've got socioeconomic strength, because you've got infrastructure strength, that you can bounce back after disaster hits. And it's the difference between what happens when an earthquake hits New Zealand from what happens when an earthquake hits Haiti. It's by having both of those kinds of preparedness, you can save lives, and you really don't need to have the same large mobilization of international humanitarian assistance. So preparedness, I think, is one of the most important things that we can do as a community. There's a saying based on a World Bank study that for every $1 that you invest in prevention, you save $7 of humanitarian response. That's a pretty compelling statistic.